Hello everybody, this is Nathan Rosenberger doing my week 5 informative speech. And for this week's speech, I wanted to touch on something that I recently saw on Facebook. My younger brother, who's in middle school, he's always sending me these funny challenges through Facebook Messenger. And one of them that really interested me was about a guy who was trying to live off of $5 a day for an entire week. And he simply couldn't do it. He failed after about the second day, I think it was. But the video prompted me to think about how hard it actually was to live off of $5 a day and what some of the benefits could be to doing so. So I went on YouTube and I did a little bit of research and I found a video called How to Live on $3 a Day, and it was by a blogger, called Brothers Green Eats. And it was a really good video. It's about 12 minutes long. If you look it up, it's really informative about how he went about living off of $3 a day for an entire week, what he did at the grocery store, what he did in between meals, and how he really sustained himself in a healthy way for that amount of time and saved a lot of money. And by doing so, and watching that video, I really got a sense of 3 different things. The first one is that living off of $3 a day can teach you a good amount of fiscal responsibility. The second one is that it can make you or really force you to make healthy choices, because a lot of the time your money goes further when you make healthy choices in the supermarket. And the third thing that it made me feel when I watched the video on YouTube was that it made me feel humble for the things I have, and maybe a little more gracious of what I'm able to buy and afford on a daily basis. So back to the first subject, fiscal responsibility. When you're living off of a very small amount of money per day, you are forced to make better choices with your money. In the video that I watched on YouTube, Brothers Green Eats, he went to the supermarket and he was making really precise decisions on what he ate. He would choose value brands instead of name brands. He would go and he would buy vegetables, but only enough only enough for a meal for him and not for an entire family. Also, he would go around and he would look at the weight of objects, like the weight of fruits and the weights of vegetables, because I feel like not a lot of people, especially me in the past, have gone to a supermarket and weighed their fruits and weighed their vegetables. And watching this video, you could tell that the guy in the video, Brothers Green Eats, he got a good sense of what his purchase power was with his money when he was living on such a limited income. The second thing that I touched on was that it promotes you to make healthy choices, and that it teaches you to cook for yourself. When you're not relying on fast food, you're forced to kind of fend for yourself and make your own food. And when he went to the supermarket and bought these organic materials and ingredients and stuff and things that he could make multiple meals out of, he was able to go home, look up recipes online with the ingredients he got, and make multiple meals out of the food that he bought. And in total, he only spent $21, and he stuck to that price point. And so it really shows just how far your food can go if you portion correctly, making healthy choices, and actually how it can sustain you. Because I think a lot of people think that they have to eat a lot of food to be full. And what this video definitely showed is that when you don't have a lot of food to work with and you kind of are thinking in the future as to how you're going to portion your food out, it allowed him to be much more conscientious of what he was making and how much he was eating. And then the third point that I really took home with me about this video was about being humble. And he says the same thing in his video, is that when you're living off of such a small amount of money per day, you really have to, 1, plan your day out, 2, know what you're going to be doing so that you're not tempted to go and spend more money and eat fast food or kind of indulge into your cravings throughout the day, working and driving around and living just a normal day. And so it made me think that, about how much money I spend in a normal day on food, how much the average American might spend in a day on food. And it was really eye-opening as to what you can do with a really small amount of money and just a little bit of willpower. And I urge you all to go onto YouTube, check it out. Again, the video was Brothers Green Eats, and it's how to live on $3 a day. And I think it's a good social experiment. It's not for everybody, especially if you have a family or kids. I think that you would need much more than $21 a week to feed everybody. But if you're interested, check it out, and it could be good for you. Thanks, guys.